When I was at my busiest year, I also was like getting anxiety, and I wasn't really like, I just realized that there's got to be more to my life than just this. Like I could keep going. I could just keep building on what I was doing, but I wasn't happy. So, and what I really wanted to do was travel, and which I wasn't able to do because I was working so much.
Welcome to the From Within podcast with Ben Osterveld. Hey guys, this is Ben Osterveld from Within. It's the podcast. We have Meryana Ashkar on this call. We were actually just chatting and we were kind of getting into it. We're like, you know what? Screw this. We need to make a serious podcast over this. There's a lot of people that need to hear this story. And thank you. Welcome to the show, Meryana. Thanks for joining.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We were just talking before we started recording there about your story. I think if we titled it, it'd be the real estate agent that doubled her income and then quit.
Yeah.
So
really, pretty much.
So that's kind of the segue. Why don't you tell a little bit about maybe our journey together and how the heck did you double your income and then quit? Give me the story and maybe we'll break it down.
Well, we met in 2014, I think. We were at a certain brokerage. I was probably, 3 years into the business. I wanted to grow. I was hungry, just like everybody else. But obviously, I really had no other sales experience besides real estate. So, you and I had worked together year over year, I think kind of consecutively 3 years in a row. And then finally, I think it was 2015 or so, or 2016, where I really hit the big numbers. For me anyways, not in general real estate. People have done much more than me, but for myself, I remember just hustling really hard that year, and just, like doubling my income. I was doing 12-hour days. And then we went on that retreat, because you did a retreat at the end of the
From
year.
Within retreat, yeah.
Yeah. And that was really funny, because you would think we'd be talking about how good we did the year, which we did for like 5 minutes. And then the rest of the retreat was like, well, what do you want out of life? Like, what else? What's next? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years or whatnot? And, having some really amazing speakers come on, like Philip and Bev and what's that boxer's name?
Dave Brett.
Dave, yeah. So, just reflecting, and, I kind of realized, like, seriously, this is what my life's gonna be. Like, I also had the most anxiety that year. I put on weight that year as well. And obviously that's just me being not honoring, it was just working. I wasn't really paying attention to any other parts of my life. And you and I, every time we sat down and every time you would ask me, well, what would you do in your spare time? And I told you, I'm like, I would travel. Like, seriously, I want to travel. I wanted to see more of the world. So finally, I honored that in 2018. I went away for 3 months, but I was still doing real estate.
Remember, we came up with a strategy to use real estate. It was cool. Remember, we kind of found a partnership for you. We made a deal where you could travel and then exchange that real estate agent, who was also a graduate of the program, would be able to take care of your whole business, but also make money on your whole portfolio. Right. So you could actually experience traveling. But you got to realize, like, we go back and it's not like some girls like, I'm going to travel. I'm like, you were not like that. It was like, how does this work? And it's like, I don't know. And I'm like, why don't you do it? And it was like this, there was a lot of like, not resistance, more like roadblocks of stories. You would say that, how would you do that? How would I just go? You had relationships involved. Like, I can't just leave this relationship I'm in. And it was like all of these things, but over time it became extremely important to you.
Yeah.
So, because it was so important, it was so clear that you had to scratch that itch, that we had to rebuild your business to be serving your plan versus just, blowing up a business. Like, you were super ambitious to build a really good, strong, financially successful, build your rental portfolio. And your story has changed today because, like, there was a piece of you that I think wasn't aligned. Like, in some levels, people can do that all the time, enjoy their weekends and have holidays, go back to the grind. And people love that. But when you're not living the life that you really want to live, like, there's a cost. Like you said, anxiety. Remember we chatted about, oh my goodness, I remember you signed up for the second round of Business from Within. I remember you're like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, man. And I'm like, you know what? Do it for your personal development, not for real estate. And that's how we shifted it. Remember how I remember, I kind of forgot, but I remember how depressed you were on the first 3 months. Like it was
totally
real. It was dark.
It was actually, I do remember that was like the second, that third round. And you're like, okay, this time it's not going to be about how am I going to make more sales. It's going to be, okay, what do I really want? How do we structure your business now in order for you to travel, which is exactly what we did. I partnered up with another realtor who I said, okay, great. I don't want
his team, but total partnership versus like just joining your team. We pitched a deal to him and he's like, I like this deal. It's super win-win. You get to keep your business forever. He gets all your profit while you're gone. And with you still made money on that. It was cool. It was a real synergy deal. And it
worked out amazing. I was able to go away for 3 months, which I haven't been able to do since I joined real estate. Like it's so hard to even take a month off, never mind 3 months off. But when I left and I came back.
So where did you go? Just to give a picture for people listening. Like, so was it like Utah? Was it like?
No. I went to India for a month. I did my yoga teacher training. Completely no interest in teaching yoga. It was like, okay, I just want to do yoga on the beach for a whole month. What do I do? I'm just going to go get my teacher training. And we were doing yoga for like 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Could you see me still?
Yeah, totally can see you still.
Oh, we were doing yoga for 3 hours a day. The beach was right in front of us, eating like vegetarian food. So that was for a month. And then I went to Indonesia for another month. And actually, I was supposed to come home after Indonesia. I was only supposed to come on for 2 months. And then I was trying to actually get Air Canada to switch my ticket for, can you extend it? I'll pay the penalty, whatnot. They said, nope, we can't do that. So I said, okay, well, I'm not done traveling, so screw it. I lost my ticket home completely, like in the garbage.
I love that.
Yeah. And then I had a friend of mine that was still also traveling. And she was like, well, you know what? Why don't you meet me in Myanmar and we can, go see all the temples there. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds amazing.
You're like, done. Let's go.
Yeah. And then where do we go after that? We went to Cambodia for 3 weeks. So so extended the trip for another month. And then I ended up coming home. And when I came home, I felt really rejuvenated. I felt a little bit lost. And then I felt more like a kind of a heavy cloud over me.
And you started plugging back into your business. That was still there, which is amazing. First of all,
it was still there.
But you now have a different perspective. And that's what the whole idea. Remember, like you didn't know if it would do anything, but it's like kind of find yourself. Is this something that really, is it just like a whim? You'll never know unless you go. And obviously you extended your trip and you're obviously traveling still today, but you plugged in back to the business that started paying you again, which is great. But then, but was it great?
Well, no, because I wanted to see more of life. I was like, I wasn't done. I was like, this is, I want more. I want to see more. I want to live more. And I don't know. I think I just realized for my life, like there's no way that I was just put on this planet to just go sell real estate and just live day to day. And I don't know, go out for dinners and, like, I think there's more of a purpose, to be quite honest with you. So it's kind of more of soul searching.
Yeah. And everyone is individual, right? Like some people are like I'm like you, Meryana. I'm like, I got this massive, like, I'm not going to just sell real estate. I'm like, I need to make an impact. I don't know what it is, but somewhere in our story, maybe it's a destiny, maybe it's a purpose that's built in it that we just don't know. There's like whole philosophies around this feeling of like, the one thing you need to do is honor it. But you don't have to blow it all up. That's why I like the strategy we put in place. So go test it. A lot of guys just blow it up. I'm leaving. It doesn't have to be like that, right? And then you went and plugged back in and it was different. And you're like, this is dry. This is not happy. So it might be cool for other people, but for you, it was like, it was not feeding your soul. It was like you had to do something else, right? There's purpose or something else. I think we need to listen to that big time in life. Hey, like people need to listen to that.
It's so painful. It's actually like like there's days where I'm just like, why why can't I just, because I have such a great life. Like, honestly, I am so grateful for everything that I have and everything that I've built. And I have a great family, great, friends and support system. I could, I don't have kids or anything. Like, I could go right now, plug into real estate, make like 60 grand a year, 70 grand, who cares, right? Like, do a couple of deals and then go travel. But it's not fulfilling, which is the most painful part, is trying to now that transition, that part of like, of the unknown. It's super painful to go through, but but yeah, I definitely had to honor it. So I remember walking, after coming home for 3 months, going away for 3 months, I'd come home and, even after, you always get that hangover, that holiday hangover.
Yeah,
I've been feeling that. It's not that I was getting holiday hangover. Like, I had for the entire rest of the year. Even driving around the city, I just felt almost a little bit like I need more. I've almost felt like, what's going on? Like, it's just not satisfying enough.
Yeah.
So that's so 2019 came, and I decided to take the big step, which is, okay, I'm going to, because I also realized one other thing. I realized that there is no way that I'm going to figure out what I want in life, in general, what I want to do in my next step in life, while I'm still hanging on to something that doesn't fulfill me.
Wow.
I realized that I had to go through that painful process of, okay, I have to let go. I've got to literally let go of everything in order to find or rediscover, not find, because I think it's always there.
Yeah, exactly.
Rediscover, or like really dig in and be like, okay, so I'm going to honor that part, but I've got to let go of everything that made me feel secure and safe and what I thought I knew of myself. So I took that really hard step of parking my real estate license this year in January, and I traveled alone for 4 months. So that was
a second trip.
Yeah.
Now this time you literally just parked the business.
I said, no, I'm parking. Wow. And I said, I'm going to travel for 4 months, and then I'm going to come home and figure out if I want to travel more or if I want to go live in a new city, because sometimes just completely challenging myself in that way could, it's good. It's good for growth. It's good for soul discovery. So yeah, so now I left for 4 months. I came home. I overextended my stay, actually.
Where did you go this time?
So this time I went to the Philippines. I went back to Indonesia. Funny stories. I was supposed to stay in Indonesia for 2-3 months, but something just felt off when I was there. Like the entire time I was like, something just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want to be here. So a friend of mine said to me, you know what, you love nature, you love climbing, you love hiking, you should go to Nepal, because that's where, you go to the Himalayas.
Cool. Yeah.
Nothing that compares to that. And sure enough, I remember like pulling up in a taxi in Nepal, and Nepal is one of the poorest places in the world.
Yeah.
You literally breathe dust, or your shoes are either dusty or muddy nothing's paved. But I fell in love with that country.
Oh, wow.
It was the most soul satisfying place I have ever visited in my whole life. So amazing. So I was there for 3 weeks, did some trek in the Himalayas. And completely disconnected. I didn't use my phone or anything. It was amazing. Yeah. And then I went to I went to Japan, and then I ended up in Germany.
Crazy.
Fun. Yeah.
And so now that you've done this, okay, like I hear a lot of people, I just want to travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you actually were one of the brave ones that pulled the trigger and designed your life to make that happen.
Yeah.
It was like people are like 50, 60 years old waiting to experience that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like get the life you freaking want. Like the problem is we're just like, I just want to make money, and we don't even know why. And it's like, let's find out why. And we spent a couple of years figuring that stuff out. And I think I still got lots of opinions, and I can kind of see that I still think you've got stuff to say. I think that's the other thing. And you're like, oh crap, no, don't talk about that. See,
don't worry, it'll come.
I do.
You'll know about it when it comes.
what I see when we were doing our one-to-one sessions and stuff, I'm like, holy shit, like she's got to say stuff.
Yeah.
And you do have stuff to say. And I think I can't wait to start seeing that come out of you. You know what I mean? And so that's always my job, right? Is to see and decide someone and be like, hey, what's that? Like, don't talk about that. And like, but I do. I feel like you have something to say. And I think you've got insane passion and almost like a fight in you. And it's like to the point, it's a real fight, but it's good. Like someone watching out for kids, someone that watches out for someone like you're that strong person. And it's funny because I saw that when you just started working and we were working at we were working at a liquor store when I met you. Like it's that, what a change. It's amazing. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So give some advice, because people that are going to listen to this are going to be different types of people. Like lots of real estate agents listen, but like how would you recommend someone finding themselves through, like, you know what I mean? Like from the point, like maybe that's not a good question. How would you recommend someone reconnecting to who they are?
I'm still learning that. Like I'm on that journey. So just listen to yourself. Like if, there's clues and signs all the time. And like, how's your body reacting? Are you anxious? Are you angry? Are you freaking, like, how are you reacting in your day-to-day relationships and like, are you really happy? And if you're not, then maybe it's not travel, maybe somebody doesn't want to do what I did, but maybe they, I don't know, need to start journaling. Actually, I think journaling was one of the, you and I had talked about it and you said, start journaling, and I did. And that was very therapeutic for me. I would start there. I would just start.
I love how you're saying, pay attention to your body.
Yeah.
And it's funny because everything you just said was get out of your head.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's almost like the pattern journaling is out of your head. Like there's something about journaling that stops the head from racing.
Yeah.
Because it slows it down and you get more connected. I've seen that a lot. And then just the fact that you're like, pay attention to your reactions, pay attention to your body. Like I'm watching you give advice. I'm like, this is freaking genius. Like it's so simple. Like, are you happy? Like, and how do you know that? Well, pay attention to your body.
Right.
Love that.
Because when I was making a lot of money, I literally reflected that year and I said, man, I had more anxiety attacks than I ever had. I had gained weight. I was so stressed out. So, it was just like these clues, these little signs that, hey, like something needs to shift, something needs to change.
Love that. So where are you at now? So what's going on?
So I, actually, I had Vancouver in my, I was thinking of moving to Vancouver because I hate snow and I love hikes. I love the nature. I love the greenery. Yeah. But then I went to Montreal this summer for a week and just fell in love with the whole city. So here I go. I'm leaving next week. I bought a one-way ticket. My family's not so happy about that. But I'm excited. I'm excited and I'm nervous, of course. I mean, like, I'm also not going with the expectation that the grass is greener on the other side. It's not. This isn't a trip thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go find my happiness in Montreal. I totally am being realistic and thinking, I just want to know what it feels like to be completely in a city where I don't know any, I don't know a lot of people. I'm not familiar with all the roads. I also love that they speak French there, so it's going to challenge me. So
cool. I love that. I love the idea of like how grounded you are and like, I'm going to go to Montreal because you could totally see people doing that, going, oh, this is going to be the big change I need in my life. It's going to be, but we both know that happiness is inside.
Yeah.
And people try to change external things. They try to change jobs, brokerages, change relationships. Like that doesn't change anything. Like for sure, I think there's good moves externally that are important, but that's not how you find happiness. And I think it's going to Montreal with the expectation of just going to Montreal because I love it. It seems cool. Yeah, no,
it's definitely more for personal growth than to find happiness, because that's garbage. I can be happy here, and why wouldn't I be? I have my family here, I've got my friends here, but I think when we're out of our element and away from everything we know, I think it's kind of the best time to really grow and challenge ourselves, to be honest with you. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. Well, I have a few things in my mind.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'm not going to speak about them now, to be honest.
Oh, I knew you'd do that.
Probably in another time when Ben and I are connecting. He knows me so well. I mean, you know me so well. So yeah, I have a few things in mind, but honestly, this is more so, hey, let's just see how I can survive in a different city, how I'm gonna feel, how, you know.
So it's from it's so funny because you know, we changed, right? A couple of years ago, or you're like, or even whatever, when we started working, I don't know how many years ago, that's like 4 years ago now, but
yeah,
you're like, real estate, I want to build this, I'm gonna do this, and then just changes, right? And I love that. It's evolution. So I just want to say, like, this is the real estate agent who doubled her business, who quit when she started realizing who she really was. Yeah. And real estate didn't serve you. And that's the thing, right? Like, you want to build a business paid for by real estate. Well, you did, and it didn't serve you. So it's a really interesting, because that's my whole brand, right? Build a business build a life paid for by real estate. And I help people do that. But it's interesting to think that maybe real estate isn't even the thing to use to build the life. It's a real option.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's done me some amazing things in my life. Like, I am so grateful for everything that I've done, and to where I've got with it now, you know. But I just don't think it's a new chapter. What's next? You know? Love it. What can I do? What else can I do in this, you know, on this very limited time that I'm on this planet? So
beautiful. You know what, Meryana, it's been amazing to catch up. I think this is going to be a really amazing episode for people. I think you're doing what people wish they could do, or they have these BS stories they tell, just like we all do, which you did, which it's like, how could I do that? I can't be done. I got family here. They're not going to be happy. I've got actual intimate style relationships I've got to talk to, all the different reasons why you cannot be rich in happiness, rich in fulfillment. And you pulled the trigger. And I think that's going to inspire people. And I think that's amazing. Amazing. And there's a lot of unhappy real estate agents, a lot of unhappy business owners, unhappy people. Yeah. And they have the control to change that.
Yeah, and it's not easy. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not easy decisions. None of it was easy. Parking the real estate, my business was not easy. Making that decision to move, I'm having a little bit of anxiety for sure, but it's good anxiety. I know the difference between, I shouldn't do this, or, I'm just a little bit nervous to, you know, be going somewhere completely foreign, and like, you know, and like, I do get the thoughts of, well, what if this is, you know, the wrong decision, or what am I, you know, and everyone's asking me, well, what are you going to do there? What are you going to work exactly? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'll figure it out, you know, like, I'll figure it out when I'm there. So
it's amazing.
Just rolling with it.
Thank you so much, Meryana.
Thank you.
Thank you.